Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to Wiki Up Knoll. It is still early here. The sun has yet to come up. It's about to happen. But we're ready to go. These guys especially are ready to go. They're always ready to go bright and early. We've got a lot of stuff to get back to today. We are continuing to work on bags, on all of the bag projects. We have the retaining wall at the front or back of the Kwanzaa hut. We have house bags. I believe we'll be starting on that this video. And we also have the little bags on the pole barn. I've made a little bit of progress on that. I think it's going well. I think I'm going to like it. I'll show you some of that a little bit later. And also I was going to show you how the greenhouse excavation went. It went really well. I'm very excited about that. So that'll be another area where we'll be doing some bag work in the coming days. And we'll see how it goes. I'm very excited about the future of the greenhouse and all of the things that we're going to do in there. And all of that. But first we have to walk these little buggers, and the sun has to come up. Hasn't happened quite yet, so I'm going to continue doing that and then eat some breakfast and get the chickens awake and send some packages, and then I'll be back with you working on all manner of things. Hope you're enjoying your day. I'm certainly beginning to enjoy my day with these silly critters, and we'll check back in a little bit. Okay, we are back. We had our breakfast. We had our packages sent out, and we just did a time lapse today. I'm on the outside of the Kwanzaa hut, the south side, and I did this bag that goes north, and it cuts into the side of the bank a little bit there, and then the next bag over here will go further over towards the foundation of the Kwanzaa hut. And I interlocked it, you can see, just like the other side. The underneath bag stopped here, and then I brought this bag over it. I wet everything on the video. I think you could see it with my little spray thing over there, which I really like. The stainless steel is working out great. No clogs or sunshine problems, which is nice. And so we got this all interlocked over here. We got until here. We're going to take our little break and come right back to do more. I think you can see it in the video where the first bag I had over there, I have this grade I'm working with. So there's a slight bump, and I got this bag a little too narrow here. So on this next bag, I'm trying to make up some of that ground so there's no dip through here. It's becoming a little better across there. So this bag is a little fuller than that bag was right there, because this will be a continuous one that goes all the way across and overlaps with this other corner that also cut in. So that's what we're doing. Next, I'll show you what I was doing on the pole barn, how far I've made it on that. There's my shadow. And I will catch back up with you there and see what's going on the pole barn and the greenhouse hole, which is very exciting. As I mentioned earlier, I'm super excited about that. We're not started on it, but the hole is done, which is awesome. So I'm going to go in, take our little break, and then we'll come back out, and I'll see you in a few. All right, we have just had our little break. We are getting ready to go back and do more of the big bags over at the Kwanzaa hut, but I wanted to come over and show you the progress I've made so far here. Later on today, probably, I need to do dry stone kind of base, which I have underneath the bags over here. That base will get, the rubble base essentially will get deeper as I go around, as I explained in another video. But this is the pole barn. This is the progress so far. I have placed in a doggy door. This is a 2-foot tall. This is to accommodate, you know, bigger dogs. Plus, Zip and Ringo already know how to use a doggy door. They were in a garage with a doggy door so that they could go in and out whenever they wanted, and now they're kind of inside dogs and they don't really like it, like I've mentioned before. So we're going to kind of recreate that here, and they'll be up in the mix with all the other very exciting things. That is a sleeping dog over there. Super duper guard dogs. Anyway, this is the progress so far. It's looking great. I don't know if you can hear, you can't, but it's hard as a rock. When I was doing these bags, especially since they're narrower, they're about 6 inches wide, full of dirt or material. And you know, when you're doing them, they seem kind of like you can move them around and do all that stuff. But now, you know, I wasn't sure if it would be different than the big wide bags that we're doing that are like 16 inches finished, or 15 inches even finished. That's just like a big, huge piece. And this is very solid. So every so often I'm going to come in and put a cleat here. I'll show that probably on video when I do it. Essentially, it's a piece of wood attached to this with structure screws and then nailed in to the bag, to the dirt here, so that it hardens in place and does all that. So, and on this one, you can see, because I'm just going between my posts, I'm kind of using the bags to get to the end, and then I loop back on itself and pound it down. So you can see it's a little different process down here, but it's still stacking up the material in the right way. I have cleated in, this is essentially a cleat of one kind or another here. I've got big 3.5 inch nails, framing nails, going through this and down into the bag itself. So it's fully, I can't move it at all. And it's also screwed in here with framing screws. And then once I get to this layer with the bags up high, I'll have this additional 2x6, and I'm going to put some 2x4s that I have stacked vertically. I'm going to be, well, I'll show you with this as an example. These are pieces of John's ladder, but I'm going to be putting 2x3s in this position, essentially making a header that goes from here all the way over. And then as the bags go up, this will be tied into them, and the bags will go up and over this section so that the weight of the wall above will be resting on a substantial header above this little opening doorway. So that's what I'm doing with that. My hope is to have enough bags on my spool here to get above the header, maybe by a foot on this wall, and then as high as I can on the other walls before I run out of space. Or run out of bags, essentially, because like I said in another video, I'm not going to reorder this particular size. I just like to use them because I have them, and this is a good way for me to do that. And then once I get to the place where I run out of bags, I'll be doing cob above that all the way up to the roof. So John has gotten one side of the ladders made for the north side. He's going to be hanging those sometime in the next, well, maybe today we'll get to that. And then that's what's going on in here. And next thing I'm going to show you is our wonderful greenhouse hole, which I'm excited about. So I'll go on in and show you that part. All right. In the last video, we had a professional come out and do some digging. They just happened to be available. It's not something I was planning right now or anytime soon, honestly, but he was here, he was available. So, hi Jack, how you doing? You coming from your nap to see me? Hi, sweet baby. You're just a good boy, aren't you? Yes, such a love nugget. Little Jack. But he did an amazing job. So this is our greenhouse hole. He actually I had him go ahead and cut in a ramp. I'm going to be using this dirt in the pole barn. Oh, there's Jack. Okay. and in the chicken coop. So we'll be using this as cob base. I'm going to do a soil test on this and see how much clay, how much sand, what's the ratio of that, where you basically put it, maybe I'll show that on here if I can remember. You put the soil sample in a jar and you let it settle out with water, and it separates itself from clay and sand, and you can see what your percentages are. So you know if you need to mix more sand or less or whatever for your cob mixture or for your bag mixture. But anyway, we have a ramp. This ramp is 5 feet wide so that I can reinforce the sides with block or whatever I'm going to do over time. But basically the ramp is so that we can roll in wheelbarrows and wagons and different things to the greenhouse in the future. We'll have to reinforce the walls. He didn't hit hardly any rock, which is amazing. It's a lot of clay. There's Jack, but you can see it's a lot of clay content. I don't know if you can see that. It's very smooth. There's some sand, but it's also cracks easy, which is a sure sign of a lot of clay. Very small particle, which is cool. We got it to 5 feet deep, which is what I hope. You come down in here. You can see the top layer. Maybe that's the sun, so it's probably hard to see. You can see the top layer of topsoil, and then it goes down into the more packed stuff. And he was able to slope the walls out a bit. So my plan in this space is, I'm 5'6", so you can see here, the camera is at my face level. So this is like right at eye level for me. And it slopes back. You can see the angle of the slope a little better on this wall. And this is 20 feet wide and 60 feet long. And as it goes down, it gets a little less deep because the natural slope of the land, it's about a foot lower down there than it is up here. So my plan with this is that we use all the loose soil that's still in here to start with, and we're going to use bags, earth bags, and bag up, but we're going to stack them against the wall so the bags are going to slope out as well. They're not going to be plumb this way like a regular wall. We'll be sloping them toward the wall, and then once we get up to a certain point, probably about, 3.5 feet up, we'll put in some 4x4 posts, which will then continue if the bags, they'll be embedded in, and then we'll have a roof. So our roof will be about 2 feet above the surface of the ground. So most of our greenhouse will be subterranean, and we'll be using the roof. I've looked at different options. I'm not sure. It may change either a hoop house kit on here and put the hoop house, from about here up and over. I'd like to be able to collect water off of this surface, which will be a huge surface, and then use that water to water the plants inside the greenhouse. That's the plan. So I'd like to have a single sloped flat roof, or not flat, but a roof that slopes in one direction. A hoop house would be a little hard for that. So that's the idea, that we would frame a roof, a single slope roof line with hard plastic for the greenhouse. And then we would have our exit and entrance here. On the other end, there will be a vent window, which will be roof line, but it'll be basically at dirt line down here. We could get out of it from that direction. It'll be a big enough vent hatch for plastic. But then we'll be able, the main entrance and exit will be here. So we'll be doing that. So this is the greenhouse progress. I'm extremely excited. I'm very happy to get started with it. And hopefully in future videos, we'll be laying bags a little bit down here as we're laying bags for the house. Because like I said before, you can lay a bag or two and then you need to let it sit there till the next day. So it only takes a couple hours for us to lay the size bags that we're doing, and then we have the rest of the day. So I'd like to lay bags in other areas and utilize the time. So we'll be doing that simultaneously. Hopefully as the house goes up, the greenhouse will go up, and we'll have things we can use in the meantime, structures we can use as we go. So that is the progress so far. We're going to get back over to bagging at the Quonset hut and see how far we can get with the rest of that today. All right, here we are. We are done with these bags for today. We're gonna set up. We had a pretty good run. You can see we're now 3 layers high over there. So I'm getting to the point where I have to kind of finagle around when I'm up on the wall putting material from down on the ground. It gets a little bit more tricky with just 2 people. So we'll be working that out as we get higher on the bags. But I wanted to show this overlap here, and then the next bag will come from this direction and cover over this. So it's like a Lincoln log sort of situation. And I made up some of the ground. I think you can see in here, I made up some of the ground. There was the dip where I came off of my end of the bag and it dipped down. I made up some of that this time. I still have a slight dip, but by the next bag, I think it'll be flattened back out. So it's right there. I still have to make up some ground, but you can see that the bag is a little plumper right there. I was able to get more material packed in there and then slack it off over this way. And then this side is overlapped as well. So this is similar to what we'll do on the house. You come this way, overlap it, interlock it, and then it dries in place. And then my next set of bags here, I'll have actually 2 in a row. I'll have a bag going this way, further into the dirt back there, and then a bag all the way from the edge, overlapping that further in, probably all the way at that point, maybe to the, no, not quite, but almost to the layer till we go to the wall, and then we'll go all the way over again. So that we're going to continue probably in the next video. Right now we're going to break and eat some lunch, and then you're going to see us go back down to that, you can see the dip right there a little bit. You're going to see us go back down to the other property, the other end of the property where that old ruin was, and the big huge trash pile. We are working on the trash pile a little bit more today. You'll see a little of that, and I need to finish the road into that section. So we'll be working on that, a little dirt work and a little trash work, and then we'll see what we get into after that. Alrighty then, we are back at the other end of the property. The road is down there. You can see John walking up. In a few minutes, I'm going to be down there doing some more grading work. My goal from a few weeks ago, you probably saw the video. I'm trying to get the road in. I have made some headway, but now you can see it comes up pretty far. I want this road to be able to get a trailer up to this trash pile. We have made some progress on the trash pile. The last time there were mattresses and insulation and ductwork and all sorts of lovely things out here, but we did find the owners of some of this trash, and they were so kind to remove some of it after we reminded them about laws and stuff. And so they have removed some of the trash, especially that was up on kind of the surface. We've now made it back. This is dirt, and the hole that was dug for the purpose of this trash is back here. You can see there's a lot of smaller debris. There's also some like branches, like old cat. Nobody loves cat claws, like I said before. There's some cat claws mixed in and some other stuff. So I've got the forklift on my tractor blade. So I'm going to use the forklift to come in here and try to lift some of this up and pull it back so that we can more easily sort it. We have a friend coming down to help with some of the sorting. John's going to be working on some of the sorting out while I get the road further in here, so that tomorrow we can bring the trailer in here with bags and boxes and whatever we need to do to get some of the smaller debris down to the actual transfer station here close by. So we're gonna work on that. I'll put you on a tripod for this portion of it, and then I'll be moving over to work on the dirt work over there. So here's what we're doing. It's a dirty job, you know, no micro for this one, but here we go. Okay, hopefully you could see some of that. It's not a great angle, and I can't get the camera super close because, you know, it's dangerous. So if I've loosened up a bunch of stuff, we're gonna be sorting this. I won't bore you with trash sorting on camera. This is a mess. This is why you do not do this. Like, I mean, come on, really? I mean, you saw how easy it was to take trash to the transfer station. And we are rural, but we are near a road, and we do have the ability to rent a dumpster if you don't have a trailer. So whatever, we have a trailer. We're gonna work on it. We've gotten better. We're getting all this trash out, and then we're gonna build a little platform here to stand on so that we can get in there to the big pieces of metal and crazy stuff. One huge silver lining that I just want to point out is this. This is a beautiful lamp. I mean, the top part, not so much, but look at that cool glass. Who would throw that away? Come on. So John saved that for me, and I did not break it with the tractor. So that's a win. The whole trash pile is worth it because that's cool. I could take that apart and make just the glass part a neat fixture for my porch one day. Silver linings. Anyway, we're going to keep on keeping on. I'm not going to bore you with more trash heap sorting. I'm going to go over there and work on some grading so I can get the road to this point so we can haul all of this junk out of here on a trailer, start putting it in bags and taking it away where it's supposed to go. So we'll work on this. Won't bore you with it anymore. I'm going to do the road, and then we will come back together and close out this little video. And thanks again for joining us this far. A few more minutes of grading work, and then we'll say goodbye for the week. Alrighty, we are finishing for the day. Not finished completely, obviously, but we're losing the light. You can see the shadows are long. There goes the sun. I'm gonna have to get back up to the house before I lose it completely. But I did basically finish what I wanted to do. I have an area here where we can get off the road, and you can see tractor's still a little tilted, but not near as bad. If I can get back here far enough, you can see the grade, and I smoothed it all out. So we have plenty of room to pull off of the road and then make the turn into the gate. So, and I still have room to build up here. The gate's really high, so I can do that. I stopped the time lapse because, you know, when you've seen some dirt work, you've seen some dirt work. It's enough, right? It's enough of that. So we're gonna keep on working here tomorrow on the trash pile back there. So hopefully next time you see the property, there won't be any more trash pile because we'll do it right. But I think you've seen enough of that. I've seen enough of it, let's be real. Got a little feisty on the trash pile earlier. Sorry about my rudeness. I get a little upset with people putting things where they don't belong, but this is the road so far. I stopped the time lapse because, like I said, you've seen enough, and I wanted to listen to music. I just got to be real. I spent a long time on the tractor today. I used my phone to film, and it also has my podcast and my music. So I was doing that. I am happy though. Silver lining of the giant weird trash pile. I did get a cool lamp. The glass part is really neat. Maybe a future porch sconce turned upside down with some beads hanging off the bottom. That'd be cool. So there's always a silver lining, right? There's always something to be happy about, even in a giant wasteland of a trash pile that shouldn't be there. Anyway, I'm going to close the video out here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us again on another adventure here at Wiki Up Knoll. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe if you haven't already, share it with your friends, and then we will see you back for our next update next Sunday, same time, same place here at Wiki Up Knoll. Who knows what we'll be getting into? It's always something random.